Oh, what do we have here? How adorable. You think you can just walk up and talk to me after everything we've been through? Well, I suppose you could, but just don't be afraid of honesty. I'm the best at it. Well, it's not very hard when I'm around someone like you. Not saying you're completely hopeless, it's just most of the time you just aren't as good as me. But some part of me can see that glisten in your eye, that's why you come to me like a little lost puppy every single time. You want me to show you what a real, perfect individual is like. No, I shouldn't call myself perfect. I can do even better. But in comparison to you, it's no offense, really. I just happen to be honest with you. And on that note, I'm sure we could improve you. Maybe we should dedicate today. You know, me being too good doesn't make you the worst, no. You're just simple, maybe a little bit on the... What's the word I'm looking for? Needy. Yes, needy. You see, I've been out here barely even trying. And yet you seem to have trouble keeping up with me, even on a basic conversational level. Now, it's not to say you're something like a pet, but sometimes you do give off the puppy vibes, I'll be honest. I'm not patronizing you. No, I wouldn't dream of it. Instead, I'm trying to help you improve upon all those things that you can still improve on. I've still got things to perfect, whereas you still have to, build a foundation. It's all a process. But you're so cute when you look so upset. You can't expect me to let you off the hook when I'm just having fun. Of course, my words might have a little bit of a bite to them, but they're only the truth. The truth never hurt anyone. Well, except for that one guy, but we don't worry about him. We're more worried about you. Let's start with those looks of yours. You've got such a masterful base. It's just, you've gone and done a few things that you shouldn't have. Nothing I can't fix, of course, I hope. But regardless of that, you should know by now, when I look at you, I see through that. Someone isn't their looks. Though, of course, with me, it adds a definite layer of depth, So, that most can appreciate. And those that can't, I pity. They clearly don't know what beauty is. As for you, I like your potential. I see you as something of a unrefined diamond. Maybe if you work hard and listen to what I say, you can find something nice. Deep beneath all of that. Well, what do we call it? There's just little scratches, and what we need is a proper cut to get to that juicy little center. And once we do, we'll be able to form you into something you want to be, instead of you always feeling pity for yourself. I wouldn't want you to be, caught in a measure of self-doubt or self-loathing. You always consider yourself to be a burden on people, and of course you will be with that attitude. To me, you couldn't possibly be a burden, I'm afraid. Even if you tried. You would only succeed in wasting your own time. You could never get under my skin. You're welcome to try. Interesting. Going straight to insults. Now, I would applaud you for that last one. Calling me a washed-up copycat of another character is one thing. But the difference is, I'm real. Much more real than you or anyone else. It's not even to say that I'm better than you. It's just to say that I'm better than you. Now, let's not focus on hopeless things. You don't need to worry about succeeding me. You always like when I look at you with those eyes filled with disdain and judgment. Or am I just wrong in thinking you're a prim and proper, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, a servant type. You seem to me like you were born to serve someone like me. Someone with a sharp tongue, a sharp wit, and those looks that when I grab you by your chin like this, and I close in on you, just like this, your heart starts to beat faster, doesn't it? Oh, and I like that. You're so easy, but that's your draw. If you weren't, I couldn't just steal a kiss without a worry in the world. What? Do you think I'm falling for you? I wonder. I won't say yes or no. Maybe I'm falling for how fun it is to be around you. Sometimes it's just so addictive. Everyone doesn't get it. Being honest and being yourself, that's the best way to go about it. That's why I think that, well, I think that you should be more honest too. Just because you're in a mess now doesn't mean you have to stay that way. And besides, if you're going to be my tag-along, then I'd have you looking the part. Obviously, if people look at us right now, you work as my sort of wing person. You make me look so good. But everyone does. Don't feel bad. Oh, did I mention? When you smile, you look almost at my level. So you do well to smile. You're getting my attention after all. I'm pretty sure it's above your pay grade. But even still, here I am. You're so fun and flirty, aren't you? And that's just fine. I like seeing someone trying to go for someone so out of their league. But that's just it. Maybe you're perfect. You see, people at my level, well, I've never met one that high. But people at my level don't often have much intricacies for me to exploit. Oh, and I do so love to exploit. It's practically like breathing for me. I don't know any better, any worse. And yet, nothing's quite so fun. I wonder, is that the face of being so angry you want to punch me? Or so angry you want to kiss me? Why don't we find out? Though I wouldn't suggest the first one, unless you'd like me to put you down, well, gently to the floor. No, I wouldn't dream of threatening you. Why would I waste my breath? Instead, I could just patronize you until you lose your ability to fight. It's so much easier to manipulate and use words to do your bidding. That way, there's no pesky harm, no pesky risk of getting injured. And all the results are so much more satisfying. Like if I were to tell you, if you beg and get on your hands and knees, acting like a puppy, I'll give you a nice little reward. Look how you do this. So obedient. I wonder why. Or did I just force you to? Oh, don't mind my foot there on your back, keeping you down. That's just for inspiration purposes. You can't be serious. I'm only toying with you. This is far from bullying, though I could show you if you want. Is that what you'd like? Sometimes it baffles me how someone as simple, with desires so out of reach. How you want me, but you also hate me. It's such a beautiful relationship. I've seen through you, it's just what you want. I know you want someone to toy with you, someone to play around with you, and to treat you as what you are. Nothing derogatory, of course. I wouldn't dream of that. Instead, it's more like a fanciful meaning behind every word. And yet, you, my dear, are going to be my footstool. Oh, but you'll enjoy it, won't you? You get to please the man who you seem to worship. And I get a footstool. One which, no offense, is quite quaint. Oh, but where is the time? We've been standing here talking. Well, I've been standing. You've been a good pet. Reward as promised. Here's your nice little pat on the head. Oh, and a scratch behind the ear. Because I'm so generous. Or did you want me to whisper sweet nothings? Or maybe... You're turning as red as a beet. And here I was thinking, you knew it was only a joke. I only bit your ear and whispered. Aren't you just so delightfully gullible? I love it. You make every moment so much better that I think it's only fair we went out and took you for a walk. Oh, I didn't mean like that. There's no such thing as a collar and leash around. But I can tell your eyes, you're not very good at hiding what you're thinking. Well, if it would do you happy, you could beg me for it later. Oh, before it gets too late, we might as well enjoy something. How about we go and have a treat? Oh, your treat, of course, right? I knew you'd see things my way. After all, my time's worth more than anything, right? You know it was only a joke. I'd pity you even more if you had to pay for me. Instead, let's do something that doesn't even require it. That way, you can treat me like the prince I am. Well, Prince God, but who's counting? Oh, also, I was thinking, this might suit you. Yes, it's just a flyer, but perhaps if we went to the circus, we could find opinions. Oh, lovely opinions. Don't you just love them? Also, it may just make me shine even more. Can you imagine all the looks I'll get? That expression. Are you jealous? Really? Then shall I make you even more? Ah, you're so easy. Oh, did I say easy? I mean, simple. No, that's not right. I don't want to reuse my words and make you get the wrong impression of me. Thinking that I don't have a billion ways to describe you, it would be naive to say the least. And yet, still here you are. You always come crawling back. Need your daily dose of your God? Or is it more that you needed a daily dose of your man? In which case, I couldn't blame you. There isn't quite another man like me anywhere. God could only be so lucky. Oh, let's not bring it into this. Only that I I must be made in the image even greater than any god could even try. What? Is my confidence not the best? It's not blind. I have so many reasons to love me. Why don't you take a note? Sometimes it seems like you're so stuck in self-problems, and yet, why? What's the point when you could focus on me instead? Oh, really? Is that how you view me? Interesting. I view you as a bit of a work in progress. But that doesn't mean I'd give up on you, unless you decided that you suddenly wanted to become less interesting. In which case, well, perhaps you'd consider yourself bullied by me. But then, where's the fun in that? There's no appreciation. There's no groveling. Oh, but where are my manners? That's not why we're here, is it? We're here to celebrate. Have a day on the town. As we deserve, right? Oh, did I say we? I meant me and my cute little puppy. Now, let's see. Where shall we go? You seem intent on that. Is it that the idea got put in your head? Very well. I suppose it's perfect for you. Suits you just fine. Come now. We might as well get dressed for it then. Will people look at us funny? I don't care. Not even one bit. And if you do, you should back out now. It's not any shame in giving up halfway. Of course, I'd make fun of you, but you'd come to expect that. And besides, it would give you a unique perspective, as you seem to enjoy it. Interesting. Well, that's one way to look at it. Though I suppose there's many, many different facets. I like opening you up like you're a book with so many pages that I just don't care about. Well, don't care about is a strong, phrase. I care about you. I just wonder how much. I've always loved myself, and I know it. And with you, I think I want to. But I don't know how. Maybe it's just my standards are too damn high. But that's okay. Everyone seems to love that about me. So I guess it's a win-win. Now, where were we? Oh yes, let's go for a walk. I'm sure there's something better we could do with our time. Of course, it is tempting to just stay here, gaze into your eyes, and watch how you squirm. Don't worry, it's nothing personal. It's just you have this air about you. It makes you incredibly easy to tease. And also, whenever you think you're doing something right, it's so cute because you're not. Well, not all the time, I guess. You have moments of grandeur, but other times, most of the time, you're cute in such a pitiful way. No, I don't mean anything bad by it. I would never dream of meaning something negative. It's just honesty. Good old-fashioned honesty. They say it will set you free. Though a lie here or there doesn't hurt. Though I assume when you're looking at me, you just tell all the truths, which makes you both insatiable as well as fantastic. I wonder why it is. You always strike a fancy in my heart. Maybe I do have some kind of feeling for you. It's very confusing from my point of view. You see, you're such a fun little toy that it's hard to know when to stop or when you'll break. So pardon me if I go a bit far with things. I don't mean anything bad, though I'm sure I've said it already. You're just far too fun. Oh, and by the way, look at me. Look real close now. Yes, just like that. Good. That's my little puppy. Obedient as always. Of course, I know you're not always. It'd be boring if you didn't have that scowl on your face. But it's oh so fun when you can't say no, because you know what I have on you. I wouldn't call it blackmail. It's more like dirty laundry, which I could choose to if I was feeling extra cruel. Toss about the room. Not literally. Of course not. I don't need to get my hands dirty. What were you thinking? Such an interesting expression. I dare say you've been thinking of something far more inexplicable than what I was. Oh, how shameful to think an innocent little puppy of mine would have their mind in a different place. You're too honest with those eyes of yours. Oh, so you shut them. Interesting. It's one tactic, though a tactic of a simpleton such as yourself. It just can't defeat my superior reasoning. It doesn't take an expert of deduction to outsmart you, my dear. Well, maybe on your best, you might win something. Not even I'm conceited enough. Oh, did I say that out loud? Perhaps what I meant is, not even I'm that perfect. You have potential, too. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that you've managed to stay by my side for so long, it's fascinating. You see, most people, they can't handle the truth, so they run away from it. You're different. You just face it. You get that look on your face of mixed feelings, of the ebb and flow of the heart. You are madly in love with me. I can see that. And also that you quite enjoy my belittling of you. What a silly masochist. But that doesn't change anything. It doesn't even make you incapable of the opposite. Perhaps you're both. Or perhaps I'm wrong. But you'd have to prove it. That's the beauty of it. As we stand here and waste our time, the world moves on. And yet, I don't care. Do you know why? Because I'm 10 steps ahead of it. Everyone can claim what they will, but I don't need to claim a thing. So you see, whether you're here or not, I've always had my fill of toys, though I'd be sad to see you go, I'll admit it. I don't usually have toys that don't break. Of course, with you, it's a special exception. You make me feel like I'm a human being and not a god, which is quite the peculiar feeling, mind you, because, as you no doubt can see, I might as well be a god. Though I was going to say something else. That right now, you look uncharacteristically alluring. I won't say I'm smitten or something, but heated might be the word. When the light hits you just right, I can feel it. My heartbeat quicken. What does it make you feel to know that you've made me excited? Someone like you. Isn't it incredible? Now you know why I do exactly what I do. Because to have such an effect on someone, you have to know how to push their buttons first. You can't exactly push the right ones until you know all the wrong ones. Know what I mean? No, of course you do. You tried, albeit not the best attempt at making my buttons pushed. But you'll have to try harder, my dear. Why don't we make a competition of it? If you win in any sense of the word, well, not only would I be baffled as to how you managed, you'd get the clemency of being able to see a look on my face no one ever has. Of course, I'm not so perfect. Just mostly. Look at that expression. I can practically taste it. I can practically feel all of those thoughts. Do you like it when I look at you? When I see you for what you are? Because it certainly looks that way, and judging by your hurried breaths, you're so honest. Perhaps you're a perfect match for me. I'm also very honest. I wouldn't dare lie about something, unless I have damn good reason for it. Also, I've been meaning to tell you this, but last time, when I lost my composure, it was a special occasion. Don't let it go to your head. No, what's that supposed to mean? You'll take me up on the competition? So cocky. What's gotten into you? Don't tell me. You're just waiting for me to win. Part of me wants to believe it, but part of me thinks you're just angry enough to want to see me grovel. Wouldn't that be a sight? I can read your eyes like a book. Did you think you could hide any of those feelings from me? No. I've already unraveled you to your deepest, darkest secrets. Tell you? And why would I do that? Where's the fun in you knowing exactly what I know? I have no intention of letting you know that much. Oh, silly. You must take me for a fool. But even a fool can't even do that wrong. My lips are sealed. But of course, you can't be thinking that I would give you anything too easy. Just like I said, it's so much more fun to keep you guessing. Though I assume you're not the type to always have a guess in mind. So I'll just give you the liberty of this one time. Want to know a secret? Then why don't you follow me? I know a place you won't regret, with words as follows. Now, where were we? Oh yes. We should go and enjoy the day. Though I wonder, is there really anything we can relate on? You always seem to claim to have love for me, given the way you look. But does that mean you can relate to me? Do you know why I am how I am? I doubt it. But I'm not immune to feelings, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really make sense in my head. You're so fun to toy with, but part of me thinks you're worth more than that. So why don't you spill it? Do you like me? Or am I just an attraction? Sometimes I wonder. It seems like you go back and forth, madly in love with me, yet too shy to actually ever act on it. The kind that we'll find out years later, once we're both married and gone. Is that what you want? Such desperation. I'm a bit honored. I guess you feel that strongly about me. But the question is, what does a relationship really mean? So many people claim to be boyfriend and girlfriend, sometimes boyfriend and boyfriend or girlfriend and girlfriend. Yet, they never really know what it means. I'm of the opinion that it doesn't matter what it means. It doesn't have to be a promise. It doesn't even have to be a reason. It's simply what you make it. And I plan to make every relationship that I have the pleasure or displeasure of being a part of 100% fun. Don't you think life should be? I think the only way you can justify it is if you have fun with it. Or am I going to be lectured by you? Wouldn't that be interesting? You trying to tell me something. I wonder, what does it all mean to you? Someone so willfully innocent, or should I say, chooses to be. Such an interesting person you can be. I wonder who inspires you to be like a sheep. Could it possibly be me? Did I inspire all those instincts inside you? If I did, I'm not apologizing. Of course, that just means what I'm doing is the right thing. Because you've followed me this far, why not follow me to the very, very end? Oh, yes, and we couldn't forget about all the fun we're going to have. Come. We keep procrastinating, but the inevitability is here. Let us go for a walk. Now, the simple part of it is that I'm going to show you something, and you're going to like it. Do we have an understanding? Of course we do. You don't have backbone enough to talk up to me, or even try and resist. Isn't that right? But you like it that way, so it works. And besides, you don't have a choice. You wouldn't betray my expectations, would you? Make me sad all of a sudden. Oh, who could hurt such a majestic creature? It'd be such a shame, wouldn't it? Oh, but I digress. I think it's best we go. What, embarrassed traveling with the prodigy? I'm sure it could be, but don't worry, all eyes will be on me. Well, maybe some on you, but that really depends on how you carry yourself. Want me to teach you how to walk and talk? I'm sure I could teach you how to be my protege. What do you mean that's not the problem? I think it's just... Now, a kiss for good luck? I was only kidding, you dork. As if I would need to. Luck isn't something I depend on. Not now, not ever. But if you want something to replace it, it's not for luck at all. It's just for passing the time, having fun. And besides, if you don't have fun, you're not alive. Did you know that? I learned that a long, long time ago. Back before I was my jovial, fun-loving self, I was a rather difficult person to be around. You see, even I have my dark past. It's not so dark, mind you, but it's just dark enough to be edgy, while still remaining quite pure at heart. But these days, I don't need that. I don't need any such crutch to fall on. All I need is a willing entertainment. And you fit the T just perfectly. What about if I told you I love you? Could you really say no to that? You're sick of my business. Then am I to just take this as you're walking away? You couldn't do that. No one ever can. How do you walk away from perfection? That doesn't make any sense. And yet here you are, trying to prove the impossible. And yet, I don't believe you. My confidence is any match for your resolve. Tenfold even. Now, why don't we stop these charades and do something meaningful? If there is something meaningful we intend to do. How about following me this way? As we had planned, I'll take you for a walk. As for the entertainment, I happen to have whipped up some nice sandwiches for us. I wonder, is that what you want? No, I can see it. Every time I suggest something normal, you want something more. You know, you're not very sly with your... what's the word? Those needs of yours. Now, I don't mean to say that you're some base animal, but rather that you have your wants and needs, and you're not even trying to hide them. Do you know what my wants and needs are? Simple. I've already told you several times, and I'm not going to repeat it. As for the rest of it, we'll see where things go. Maybe you'll get what you want, but I don't think I'm going to give you a chance. You shouldn't wait on things that won't happen. Oh, don't be silly. I love you in a certain sense. I love the fun that we have together, and I rather love how gullible you are. Does that mean I'm in love with you? I wouldn't know how to answer that. After all, it'd be such a shame to go and give you false positives. What would you do if you found out your idol, your entire reason for being at this place even now, didn't even feel the same? But I wonder, do I? If you want to find out, it's quite simple. Try and swoon me. Can you? What do you think? Is it just beyond you? You need some confidence, of course, but who am I kidding? You don't have the confidence for it, right? So I'll just have to sweep you off your feet and see if I feel anything. How's this? Somehow looking down on you like this in my arms, it just makes me see you as something slightly different than I viewed you this entire time. But is that a good thing? I wonder. We won't know until we get to the bottom of this. Why is it you blush? What is it about me? Here I was thinking you were surmising me up to be something of a uncouth release. I thought you were using me. But the more I see it, the more I understand you're too simple for that. But that makes you perfect. And so I can say it, with resounding clarity and purpose. You're my favorite toy. Of course, with matters of love, it will take more than that to get me. You see, I'm not one for commitment. But perhaps, in time, you may change that. I don't intend for you to change anything that wouldn't have changed on its own. After all, that's how bad relationships start, and you know I'm too smart for that. I'm merely going to give you a chance. I'm going to follow my heart, as I always do. Besides, we're here right now, in a secluded school. And what do we do with that? I'm sure you can think of something. I certainly can. Here we are, up on the roof with such a view. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone saw me as I stole a kiss from you? Oh, the rumors would start, and we'd be the talk of everything. Is that what you desire? You want me to be your sweetheart through it all. I can imagine. You want to show everyone, don't you? Then I suppose that's something to go on. Particularly something for me to take advantage of, isn't it? Well, that's what you're hoping for. As for if I'm interested or not, as if you even had to ask. Oh, you didn't? I just assumed everything? Well, if that's the case, I'll be right on my way. What's that? Begging me to stay now. Even though you're so embarrassed, how can it be? You want me to stay unless you want me to push you against the wall and tell you how I feel in the most beautiful, simplest of ways. Is that everything? There really isn't any other depth to you other than a literal one. Now, if you really want me, you're going to have to earn it. Doesn't that feel fair? It's just like a test. We're so used to them. Now, before we get into anything fun, why don't you try and make my heart beat faster? Well, I guess it's a start. I'd give it about a 5 out of... Bold, aren't you? You're getting there. That's your imagination, not me. You certainly get points for persistence. Have I inspired some change in you? To think even you could go this far. Well, I suppose you couldn't end on a perfect note. Giving up already, are you? I don't blame you, it's just... well, certainly bold given where we are, but... what are you... You surely wouldn't. There's... people down there and... to think I'd get blindsided so perfectly by... telling me to shut up and doing what you're doing. You're a maniac, and I love it. What do you mean? You've got me right where you want me. There's no way that I would let that... What do you mean I'm all talk? It's nothing of the sort. You're just getting lucky. Don't fool yourself. That's nothing of what... Watch your tongue before I take it. Well, when you're finished. What? Surprised that I have a human side too. Even gods can feel. And still you try and act all cocky, even though you're practically on your knees. What do you mean that's the point? You're certainly cheeky, I'll give you that. Absolutely. And it's not something that I'm used to, someone so bold as to challenge me. You've got your work cut out for you, don't you? What do you mean you're wiping that smile off my face? You've got the wrong idea. I'm completely in control. You're certainly doing a good job at what you do. But that doesn't mean... And what do you think you're doing? You certainly don't think that you can... Me beg you for anything. You've got the wrong idea, don't you? Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt. This one time. No other. As long as you're clear on it. I wouldn't dream of begging... Well, if you could please continue your benign assault that I'm completely in control of. Of course I am. There's no such thing, and... Then do what you please. I'm not going to go any further than that, then... Who am I kidding? You're the one who couldn't resist me. Why don't you just admit it? What do you want from me? You're quite the demanding one, but somehow, this entire situation, it's not so bad, is it? I guess I could be troubled to say I'd love for more. What are you insinuating? This being a start. You above me, from such a compromising place. You've got some nerve, don't you? But I suppose I like someone with that much. I'm no cow, but such a remark. You really intend to do me in, don't you? I suppose it's something. Well, can't be helped, can it? I've felt something for you, which is more than I'll say about everyone else. I can't really feel for most. Is that what you want me to say? Taunting me on the tip of everything. I suppose that's one way to solve a problem. But surely you can't mean to... No, you wouldn't. Just like that. Leaving things. No, you wouldn't dare. Prostrating yourself. So the truth comes out. I guess you couldn't resist me too long until... To think you would catch me. Catch me like this. You've got quite... How are you even managing? I'm impressed. I'll give you that much. You're not going to make a fool of me, of course. But I suppose I'll give you attention where it's due. And look, others. So it seems what we're doing is not so taboo that you saw it as being forbidden after all. What would it look like to them? Why would we care? What are you doing? Trying to compliment me when you're the one who's compromised. You're quite cheeky, aren't you? I don't dislike that, per se. Just that you might be getting a bit of the wrong idea. Doing such things. You're quite confident. And your confidence may be your undoing. Isn't that right? But we're doing nothing wrong, especially in their eyes. They can't see anything that would denote something's remiss. Just two classmates bonding. Nothing out of the ordinary. I could be helping you find something on the ground, or better yet, teaching you some new moves. Because I have so many that it's all but infinite. Yes. Is that what you wanted to hear? My approval? I suppose it's just befitting of you. And I couldn't deny you. Not at this point. I'm too far gone. And so are you. So I will abide by your wish. Just like the prim and exemplary man I am, I'll show you what it means to be mine. What it means to share. Is this your intention? To have me like this? To give me no moment to deny you? Impressive. I say, I never thought of you in this way. Why are you looking with that face? Don't tell me it was just a momentary bravery. Well, you've certainly excited me. Made me feel as though I'm much more human. There's a certain allure to it. But still, you can't think that you've gotten the better of me. What? No, of course not. There's nothing you could do, and besides, there's... Are you perhaps blackmailing me? Well, I'll give you points for being creative, but surely you don't mean to... Revenge? That's such an ugly word. I've done nothing wrong, right? Oh. So that's what it is. I suppose I could be a bit infuriating at times, but certainly you understand the lore. There's no way that I would do this maliciously. Excuses? Well, I guess there's only one way to see who's making excuses or not. We solve this in an honorable bout. What do you mean you don't trust me? Am I so horrendous that you could say that you can't even trust my words? Oh, come now. You know I'm good for it. Now, let's put this petty business aside and get to more pressing matters. As of right now, I will be your master, and you will be my subordinate. I do detest the word slave, but your eyes are insisting. Oh, you're going to fight me on it? Well, I guess we'll see how the seesaw tips. But then again, a moment of brilliance doesn't make up for a lifetime of dull. So you'll have to keep yourself on your toes. Wouldn't want me getting bored, would you? What do you mean I'm like a prince? Well, you're not entirely wrong, but I'd say more like a very powerful member of the underworld. Like a mob leader. Or something even greater. Someone who runs things so devilishly good that no one can say anything. Wouldn't you say? Running what we... what we did was an exception to that rule. You obviously take me for something else. You can't possibly think you could shut me up with something so simple, do you? Where did you get that? That's clearly photoshopped. There's no way you'd have a baby picture of me. Now, just hand it over so I can get rid of such a blasphemous image. You've got to be kidding me. Well, two can play at that game. Just realize you've incited my rather nasty side. I'll make you pay for this. I suppose we are, aren't we? Dating is such sweet sorrow, but I wonder if it can't have a little competition. Oh, I'm sure someone as simple as you, I mean as beautiful as you, could grasp even the most basic concepts that I'm not holding back. Not after what you did. Expect to see some dirt on yourself quite soon. Oh, and don't expect me to bow to you just because of dignity. Not in the slightest would I even think of it. Oh, you think that look from before means I'm giving up? No, of course not. Why would I dare to do that? You have copies of this, don't you? Just how long were you planning? Maybe I did misunderstand you. But I'll make you just as I saw you. I won't let you win. You've certainly gotten me a bit flustered, but that's just your imagination. You're not winning. I've got plenty of dirt on you. And perhaps this thing we call a relationship will escalate into something of a competition to see who can blackmail the other into more devious things. I wonder, can you really hope to compete with me? I look forward to it. Don't disappoint me now. You could be a disappointment to anyone else, though. I won't stop you. It's fun to watch, after all.